2020 has seen some Netflix originals get a lot of positive buzz. From dramas to gripping documentaries, the streaming giant is experimenting with plenty of fresh ideas. With Netflix's release schedule ramping up more than ever, we want to make sure that you don't miss out on any hidden gems. Over the years, there have been endless films and TV shows inspired by Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. Now, the world's most famous vampire has come back to life once again in a new BBC series, which is available in America exclusively on Netflix. And with the creators of Sherlock working behind the scenes, you know that the writing will be clever and engaging. If you're familiar with the story of Dracula already, the general narrative of this series probably won't surprise you, at least not at the beginning. The unwitting Jonathan Harker travels to Transylvania to meet his mysterious new real estate client and finalize the sale of his home, but little does he know that he's walking into a trap set by a vampire. This time around, the showrunners took some creative liberties, especially as the series progresses. Initially, the episodes take place in the late 1800s, so you'll get plenty of that classic Dracula vibe. Then, with the final installment, the show jumps forward in time and delivers a modern twist on the ancient bloodsucker.
I'm Count Dracula.
Plus, there's no denying that the higher production value means that this adaptation is more visually striking than some of the previous versions of Dracula. If you're a big fan of horror, this series is a solid choice. And with only 3 episodes, you could sink your teeth into the whole series in one afternoon. The Decline is a thriller out of Quebec that features a group of Canadian survivalists who have just arrived at a training camp. This collection of strangers may be divided in their political beliefs and backgrounds, but they can all agree on one thing: our modern society is doomed to collapse, and when it happens, they're going to be ready. Elaine, who runs the camp, kicks things off by teaching the participants some useful skills that they might need if civilization breaks down, like growing their own food and protecting themselves with some serious weaponry. Suddenly, the group descends into chaos when a training session involving explosives results in a tragic fatality. And while it was clearly an accident, they don't know what to do next. Elaine is far too paranoid to allow law enforcement on his massive, secluded property, but some of the participants want to report what happened. As tensions in the group turn violent, the survivalists must learn how to survive one another rather than a disaster from the outside world. If you're looking for an addictive thriller to binge watch, then get comfortable and settle in with the first episode of The Stranger. Based on the Harlan Coben novel of the same name, this British mystery follows the life of Adam Price, who learns a devastating secret about his wife from a woman he's never met before. When he asks the woman who she is, she has a mysterious response.
Think of me as a stranger that knows.
She informs Adam that his wife, Corinne, faked a pregnancy, and when Corinne finds out that Adam knows the truth, she disappears. But it turns out that this isn't the only secret that this enigmatic stranger is hiding up her sleeve. The tension continually builds throughout the series, and you'll be left on the edge of your seat as you watch the stranger at the center of the story unravel the lives of all those around her. Blood Ride is a Norwegian horror anthology that will literally take you on an extremely wild ride. The show perfectly balances frightening scenes, suspense, and morbid humor. While the anthology format can be difficult to master, this series definitely pulls it off. Each episode begins with an intro scene on a bus, featuring the characters that will appear in the series. Although their stories are not interconnected, the terrifying bus driver indicates that all the passengers are headed for an eerie destination. The various stories featured in Blood Ride take viewers from a village that's the home of an ancient sacrificial Viking stone, which the residents use for their own nefarious purposes, to a creative writing class where a student finds out that she's living in a classmate's horrific story. With 6 unique episodes to delve into, you're bound to find a few favorites that will genuinely make your skin crawl. The Cold War-era drama The Coldest Game received positive attention on the awards circuit in Poland, but it isn't well known internationally. Not yet, anyway. Now that the film has officially been released on Netflix, American audiences can finally see it for themselves. In The Coldest Game, former chess player and skilled mathematician Joshua Mansky, portrayed by Bill Pullman, is wasting his days away playing card games at a bar and drinking heavily. One day, everything changes when he's kidnapped and roped into an escalating conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union. American spies force Mansky to fill in for a deceased U.S. competitor at a chess tournament in Poland. Now he has to go up against the reigning Soviet champion, Alexander Gavrilov. Unfortunately, Mansky's brilliance is only matched by the depths of his alcoholism.
You're drunk and still genius. How do you do it?
Pure math and pure vodka.
However, it turns out that there is much more going on than just an international chess tournament. Mansky is stuck in the midst of a proxy war between the world's most powerful nations, and the stakes couldn't be higher, for him or the United States. The Silent War, also known as Sordo, is a Spanish film set during World War II that tells the story of a man named Anselmo. Along with his partner Vicente, Anselmo is a guerrilla fighter who helps lead a small band of soldiers. Early in the film, the group makes a grave mistake while rigging a bridge with dynamite. The explosion goes off too soon, and the fighters end up bearing the brunt of it. Anselmo survives the deadly blast but loses his hearing. Meanwhile, Vicente is trapped by debris and Anselmo can't rescue him before enemy forces approach the scene. Now, all alone in death, he must make it out of hostile territory alive without being able to hear the endless dangers that surround him. Queen Sono is the first Netflix original series produced in Africa, and this crime drama is definitely bringing something new to the platform. It tells the story of a secret agent, Queen Sono, working in Africa and trying to solve the mystery of her mother's murder. She's involved with a clandestine organization called the Special Operations Group, but to everyone else in her life, she's merely an art trader. Queen may use unorthodox methods to gain intel, occasionally getting criticism from other agents she works with, but no one can deny that she's very skilled at what she does. And when she decides to put her talents to the test to see if she can finally crack the case surrounding her mother's death, no one is getting in her way.
So you can handle yourself now.
There's only one way to find out, but yes, I could kick your ass.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite Netflix originals are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.